she's so fine. Hell of a ride, blows my mind. Hell of a ride, lights my day.
What's good, guys? Today is Wednesday, August the 11th, 2021. This story is coming out of Chicago via the Chicago Tribune. Came out yesterday evening. Prosecutors detail slaying of Chicago police officer Ella French as brothers charged in the case are ordered held without bond. It started routinely enough Saturday night, prosecutors said. A typical traffic stop for expired license plates near a nondescript West Englewood viaduct. It ended in chaos and tragedy. A Chicago police officer dead, one of her partners critically wounded, and two brothers facing felony charges for their alleged roles in the fatal encounter. Officer Ella French and her partner had their service weapons holstered when Emonte Morgan shot them both at close range during a struggle, exchanged fire with a third officer, then ran and gave the gun to his brother Eric before Emonte collapsed with 2 gunshot wounds, Cook County prosecutors said yesterday. Both men were ordered held without bond in separate hearings. Body-worn camera footage, some of it recorded by the wounded officers' cameras after they fell to the ground, captured much of the confrontation, prosecutors said, and both brothers gave videotaped statements to police about their actions that night. Officer Ella French died of a single gunshot wound to the head. Her wounded partner was still in critical condition yesterday with a bullet lodged in his brain as well as gunshot wounds to the eye and shoulder, prosecutors said. Both Morgan brothers, Chicago residents in their early 20s, have little serious criminal history. Emonte, 21, is charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and weapons charges. Eric, 22, faces weapons charges as well as a count of obstruction of justice. This is a picture of the younger brother, Emonte, 21. And this is the older brother, Eric, 22. In court Tuesday at bond hearings for the pair, Assistant State's Attorney James Murphy laid out the most complete narrative of the allegations so far. Officer Ella French, a 29-year-old with 3 years on the job, was driving her squad car at about 9 p.m. Saturday with 2 partners, male officers, aged 39 and 30, in tow. They pulled over a gray SUV for having expired license plates. Eric Morgan was in the driver's seat, prosecutors said, with an unnamed female witness in the passenger seat next to him, and Emonte was in the back. The officers walked over, and each of them directed one of the people in the SUV to get out of the vehicle. Officer Ella French approached the driver's side and asked Eric to hand over his keys and step out of the car, Murphy said. He complied and admitted that he had cannabis on him. The 30-year-old officer asked the woman in the passenger seat to step out, and she also complied. Emonte got out too, on the orders of the 39-year-old officer, according to the court description. But he had a drink in one hand and a cell phone in the other, and refused to put them down. He started physically jerking his arms away from the officers, Murphy said. As French's partners tried to get control of Emonte, Eric took off running from French, Murphy said. He was nervous, he allegedly later told police. He knew Emonte had a gun, and he got scared and started to run. The 30-year-old officer ran after him as the 39-year-old officer struggled with Emonte, prosecutors said. That encounter ended near the front passenger side door, with Emonte partially inside the car and the 39-year-old officer over him, yelling at him to show his other hand, Murphy said. As Officer Ella French came to assist her partner, Emonte allegedly fired multiple shots, hitting them both. They fell to the ground between the car and the curb, the prosecutor said, with both their guns still holstered. Their body-worn cameras were still recording and captured Emonte coming out of the car with a gun in his hand, Murphy said. The 30-year-old officer heard the gunshots as he chased Eric, who cooperated with his demands to get on the ground, Murphy said. When the officer did not hear his partners come over the radio, he stopped trying to handcuff Eric and ran back to the SUV while radioing for backup, Murphy said. As he ran toward the car, Emonte started firing at him from the back of the vehicle, Murphy said, and the officer returned fire and fell to the ground. When he stood back up, he saw the brothers across the street, both running south on Bell, Murphy said. He fired again, hitting Emonte in the abdomen, and the two ran out of sight. Emonte gave Eric the gun, Murphy said. Emonte was found on the ground with gunshot wounds to the arm and abdomen. Eric fled to a nearby yard where he encountered a group of residents who took him to the ground and held him down until police arrived. One of the witnesses in the yard said Eric hit him in the arm with what he believed to be a gun. Police allegedly found a .22 caliber handgun in the yard near where Eric was arrested. Testing confirmed that gun matched cartridge casings recovered from the street behind the SUV, Murphy said. And investigators soon found the gun's alleged purchaser, Jamel Danzy, an Indiana man who allegedly told federal authorities he was in a relationship with Eric. Jamel Danzy has been charged in federal court with straw purchasing the gun from an Indiana dealer on Eric's behalf. Jamel Danzy is scheduled for a detention hearing in federal court Wednesday, today, and his attorney cannot immediately be reached for comment. Both Morgan brothers gave video-recorded statements to police after their arrest, Murphy said. Emonte admitted to pulling out the gun and indicated he thought he might have shot the girl and boy cop, Murphy said. The brothers were held without bail by separate judges Tuesday. Emonte is still hospitalized and could not attend court, so his assistant public defender said in court that her office would present mitigating information about him in a later hearing. Genevieve O'Toole, Eric Morgan's assistant public defender, said at his hearing that Morgan attended Lake Central High School through the 11th grade and had been working for the past year. O'Toole argued that Eric was not in the possession of a weapon when the traffic stop started and was initially cooperative with the officers. He handed Officer Ella French the car keys, admitted to having cannabis, and got out of the vehicle when instructed, she said. And he was not on the scene when his brother fired shots and didn't know his brother shot the officers, O'Toole said. In a statement to reporters after court, Interim First Assistant State's Attorney Risa Lanier said her office would prosecute this case to the fullest extent of the law. August 7, 2021 was a tragic day for the city of Chicago, she said. The Cook County State's Attorney's Office stands with the Chicago Police Department and the families of those officers in their time of mourning. John Catanzara, the president of the union representing rank-and-file Chicago police officers, stepped up to speak to the reporters next. Today we begin the justice process for Ella and for her partners, he said. Then he criticized other police leaders, Mayor Lori Lightfoot and State's Attorney Kim Fox, for not attending the hearings. He said rank-and-file cops have been disappointed with the leadership shown in the past few days. Risa Lanier had just told reporters that Fox could not be at the Layton Criminal Court building on Tuesday because she was meeting with the FBI director and other law enforcement officials. Lightfoot's office declined to comment on Catanzara's remarks. Then this article came out shortly after that, also from the Chicago Tribune. It says, mother of brothers charged in slaying cop case is arrested after allegedly trying to see one of them in the hospital. The mother of two brothers charged in connection with a shooting that left one Chicago police officer dead and another critically wounded was arrested Tuesday after she tried to enter the hospital room of one son who was wounded in an exchange of gunfire during the fatal confrontation, according to Oaklawn police. Police in the suburbs said they responded to a disturbance call at Advocate Christ Medical Center at about 8:30 a.m. Evalena Flores, identified as the mother of the brothers, allegedly tried to enter the room of Emonte Morgan, 21, who is charged with first-degree murder, attempted murder, and weapons offenses in the killing of Chicago police officer Ella French. Two Chicago police officers outside Morgan's room and one of the hospital's officers stopped her, but in doing so, she allegedly kicked the hospital officer in the groin, according to authorities. Flores continued to resist while demanding to see her son, police said. Flores was charged with misdemeanor offenses that include battery, resisting a peace officer, and criminal trespassing, police said. Flores is scheduled to appear in court on September the 15th at the Bridgeview Courthouse. A Facebook Live video posted to an account under the name Marcia Out of the Box Brady about 8:30 a.m. Tuesday shows a woman filming her perspective of entering what appears to be a hospital. Oaklawn Police Division Chief Gerald Vetter said the video, quote, is of interest to our investigation, end quote. I'm trying to see my son, the woman can be heard saying in the video. Emonte Morgan, my son. I want to see my son. Monte, Monte, she screams as she appears to rush down a hallway. As uniformed officers approach her, she can be heard yelling, "Don't touch me, get away from me, please let me see my son." Someone else is then heard saying, "Put your hands behind you, you're under arrest." "Monte, I love you," the woman can be heard crying out as she appears to be ushered away. It goes on to tell what happened again on Saturday night. Just really a sad story all the way around. You know, pretty fresh police officer doing her job, shot in the line of duty for no reason. We're talking expired license plates. The rest of that could have been dealt with. You know what I mean? You do the crime, you got to do the time. That's just all there is to it. If you're packing around a gun, you know, that's something you're going to have to answer for. And I don't blame them for packing it around. It is Chicago. So I understand their side of it too. Chicago is literally a war zone at this point. It's just, you know, it's a bad situation all the way around. I'm not saying I agree with what they did by any means. I'm just saying I understand why someone would pack a gun in the city of Chicago. It's that scary there. The straw purchase of the gun just simply means this Jamel Danzy knew that, I think it was Eric, couldn't get the gun, so he purchased it on his behalf and then gave it to him. So that's all a straw purchase is. But he's going to have to answer for that. The brothers are going to have to answer for their parts in it. The mother just simply trying to see her kids, or kid. You can't blame her for just wanting to see her son who's hurt. It's a bad situation all the way around. So my heart goes out to everyone involved in this. The officers' families. Just, you know, you got one still in critical condition. I mean, this is a terrible situation. An absolute traffic stop gone horribly, horribly wrong. And I'm going to end the video on that note. Thanks for watching, guys.